Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic related to template driven form, where we will see the basic ngModelGroup example. Although in our last session also we covered and created one example that explained the entire process of ngModelGroup, right? But there we just concluded it as a complete example where we have used multiple things together, right? But to understand it properly, what we will do, like we will break down all concept into individual session so that you can clearly understand each aspect and each possible scenarios of ngModelGroup. Okay. And in today's particular session, what we are going to do, we are going to create a very simple example where we will just break down our name related data into a form. Okay. And then we will use ngModelGroup to bind those correlated fields. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow it sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to use ngModelGroup in Angular. Okay, and for the sequential content, you can refer the Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. Because like there you will find more than 3000 plus free resources, which is available in both Hindi as well as English language. So as per your convenience, you can refer it and you can go through it. Okay. Alright, so now you can see currently I'm in app.component.html file where I have noted down two headings. The first heading shows Angular course by Sharmit, and the second one shows template driven form in Angular for basic ngModelGroup example. Now after this heading, what we will do, we will simply write one horizontal row. This horizontal row will help us to separate out the form headings with the actual form so that you can see it properly on the browser screen. Okay, so let's add two horizontal row, and in between these two horizontal row we will define our entire form. Now we know that for form, like we will be using the ng form, and it should be imported in the component.ts file, right? So what we will do, firstly we will import the forms module, right? So for that, let's go to app.component.html file, app.component.ts file. Here inside this, what we will do, we will write here forms module. Okay, you can simply write here forms module, and once you write it here, it will automatically import this in this line also. Okay, so forms module is imported. That means now you are good to use the ng form in your application. Fine. So this is the first prerequisite when you want to build a template driven form with ngModelGroup. Although like this is not related to ngModelGroup, this is for the form, so we have imported it. Now it's time to design the form and to use the ngModelGroup in order to break down, or you can say in order to correlate, to keep the correlated field into a particular group. So for that, we will create one form here. Let's go and write form. Okay, and in this form we will assign a template reference variable, that is my form, and ng form. Perfect. Now after this, what we will do, we will create one div here, and in this we will write ngModelGroup, in which we will assign some name to this group. So what we are planning, like we will be creating two fields, that is first name and last name, or maybe you can include middle name also if you want. But for now, just to make it simple, I will include two fields only, first name and last name. Now these are the correlated field. We know that this contains the names related information, although like in projects you will be seeing a multiple fields with the same area, right, same domain. But here, just to make it in a very simple way, we will consider a name where we will storing first name and last name. So for that, we are creating one group using ngModelGroup, and we will assign the name as group name. Okay, so this is the name. Now inside this div, what we will do, we will create one label, and in this label we will simply write first name. Perfect. and after this we will write here input, and in this input we will assign name. And remember, make it very clear that this name is very important. On the basis of this name only it will find work. So this name and ngModel, this should be there in each field of your input field wherever you want to implement the ngModelGroup especially. Okay, so what we created here, we created one field. So let's see how it goes. So I will simply run ngserve -- open, enter. So once you press enter, it will take few seconds, and then it will show you the output on the browser screen. So there should be two headings, one with one input field. Fine. So we can see we have one Angular course by Sharmit as a main heading. Then we have second heading that shows template driven form in Angular for basic ngModelGroup example. We have input field with the name first name and one input field, right? Similarly, we will add the second input field that is for last name. In case if you want to include middle name, that also you can do, but for now I'll just add it for the last name. So for that we will add here label, and in this label we will write here last name. Okay, similarly we will add here input field, and this input field would be for last name. So accordingly here we will write name as last name, then we will write here ngModel. Perfect. So this thing is ready. So now you will see that on browser we have two fields with two label. First one is for first name and the second one is for the last name. But currently we don't have any button, right? So what we will do, we will add one button here, and that button will help us to submit the form. Okay, and after submitting the form we will verify whether it is providing the data individually or as an object, because in theoretical part we discussed that it create a object, right? So let's verify that. So for that we will add one button here. So let me add it here. In button I will add click, and I'll assign it with submit form. Let's add this method submit form. Okay, and in submit form we will write here my form, because this is what we added. Perfect. Right now it is showing error. Why? Because we didn't created any method with this name. So it's the right time to define this method. Okay, so for that what we will do, we will go to app.component.ts file. In this TS file we will simply define the method with the name that is submit form. Okay, so and remember one thing, this is completely case sensitive. So if you are defining something, always make sure that it should be in the same case. Okay, otherwise it will throw the error. Now inside this form we are sure that we are going to receive like we will write here ng form. Perfect. Okay, now we will simply write here console.log, and then we will write here form.value. Perfect. So this thing is ready. Now you can save it, and it's the time to verify whether it is providing the output as an object or a simple fields. So for that you can see we have this button here. Just do a right click on inspect. After inspect you will click on console, and there if you write something, let's say here I will write ABC, and in last name I will write XYZ. Okay, and the moment when I click on submit, you will see that one thing is added here in the console. If you expand it, you will find that there is one object with a name. Its name is also name, so don't get confused, but it holds all the information related to name. So if you expand it, you will find that yes, now this is coming as a object, not as an individual field, right? Otherwise in a normal form we have to take care of one thing and then second thing, right? But here you can see we have got the object. And in theoretical session we learned that here we can apply the validation in group, right? And we can apply the styling in group. So these all things also we will verify in upcoming session. But in this basic example we discuss that yes, you can create a form with correlated field inside a ngModelGroup, and when we submit that form, it submit the data as a object. So this is exactly what we are trying to prove with this basic simple example. In the next session, we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.